Hey guys, EthDo here, and today I'm back for an all new video. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to craft every single block and item new to Minecraft 1.9, the combat update, as well as giving you an overview of the update as a whole. It is worth noting, however, that unfortunately the update has been pushed back by a couple of days in terms of its release. It was originally planned to be Thursday the 25th of February. Presumably there's some kind of bug or glitch at the moment that Mojang want to iron out before the full release, so it will now be out on the Monday the 29th of February. Now, in theory, they've given themselves 4 days to fix whatever the problem is. In theory, they could do it and they could fix whatever they would need to in 2 days and it'll be out on the 27th or whenever really. Just expect it between now and the 29th is generally when it's going to come out. If you do want to just get onto Minecraft 1.9 now, you can just play the pre-release as I'm doing here. It's exactly the same. I can't see any problems with it, but presumably Mojang has found something they're not happy with. Regardless, the update will be out very, very soon. So let's start with some crafting recipes then. Let's start with some blocks in fact, because there aren't actually too many new blocks in the game as of this update, but there are a couple of purple blocks and its variations. Now purple blocks are these purple blocks here. Why did it just call them purple blocks? I don't know. Because they're literally just purple blocks you can use to decorate with. You can make one purple block by using 4 popped chorus fruits, which I'll be showing you how to obtain in just a moment. Imagine this is your crafting table with the 9 squares. Just make a small square and you'll get a purple block. You can then use those to make slabs. Slabs can then be used to make purple pillars, which is a slight textural variation on the regular block. And you can then also make stairs as well. Now these popped chorus fruits are obtained by going to the end, defeating the ender dragon, and then going into the almost the second end. It doesn't actually have its own name, but it's this end area with all the big porous trees. By porous I mean chorus trees. And they're literally everywhere. So all you have to do is get an axe, that's the fastest way of getting them. And just break the block. You won't always get one, but you will every now and then. So as you can see here, I've got a chorus fruit. And then just slap that into the furnace and smelt it up for a popped chorus fruit. And you can actually grow these. So if you mind the very top, you see the bit at the top is very slightly different. That's the chorus flower. You can then plant those in the ground and they will grow into more trees and in turn more blocks in a way. It's almost a renewable source of blocks, which is quite cool. Obviously this is endgame content, so don't expect this very quickly. If you start a new world, it's going to be a little while before you can get those purple blocks. Another use of the popped chorus fruit is if you put a blaze rod above one, you can then actually get end rods, which are little lights as you can see here. They can actually be placed on the side as well, so if I just pick one up here, you can place them like that. So expect to see a lot of parkour incorporating those in the future. Moving on to another block, we've got the end stone brick. Now this is a slight variation on the end stone. I'm sure you're all familiar with those. Find them in the end, they're literally everywhere. Just pick up some of those, make a small square, and you'll get 4 end stone bricks, which you can see nicely decorated here in the end city, which is a new generated structure. There's also igloos. Unfortunately I'm not in the right place to see that, but you can see them on a separate video. Now let's move on to some food. There's only one new food item, technically 2 in a way, but it's just beetroot. So if you're used to playing Pocket Edition, you'll be familiar with beetroot already. If you get 1, you can eat it. So that's your first food source. It will give you 1 food back, 1 little food point. And if you combine 6 with a bowl in this orientation, you can get a beetroot soup. And that will require 6 beetroots, and it will give you 6 food points back. Plus increased saturation, so it is worth making those. Here we've got a change to the recipe for boats. Now although this is the original recipe again, you can now actually make different versions of boats. And there was a time in the snapshots where you needed a wooden shovel in here. You no longer need that, just back to the original recipe, but with the opportunity to make variations on it. Now as you can see, the boat itself is a little bit different. You can now use A to turn to your left, D to turn to the right, and if you hit W, you go forward. Presumably, you've got to be looking in the right direction of course though. So if you just spin around, and it's a little more technical than it used to be, but it's very easy to pick up. It's really not difficult. Okay, so let's move on to some new potions. Now, there is one new potion, or completely new potion added to the game, as well as many new variants of potions. So the one new potion that's been added is the Potion of Luck. Now unfortunately, this cannot be brewed while in single survival. You can't just be in survival mode and brew these up. Not yet. In future, they could actually add a brewing recipe, but for now there isn't one. But it's kind of a pointless potion anyway. All it does is improve your luck chance while fishing, as well as potentially opening chests, though I've not seen any change with that. I've not actually gotten any better loot using this than I had before, so whether that's true or not, I don't know. Jury's not really out on that one yet. So it seems for now that these are at least exclusive to creative, so adventure maps, multiplayer, such like any kind of game mode where you can have creative is where you'll be seeing these potions for now until a brewing recipe is eventually added, if it is. Now in terms of the new variants, we now have lingering potions. Now lingering potions, just like regular splash potions, can be thrown upon the ground. However, when you throw a lingering potion down, their actual potion effect remains on the ground. So make sure you have your particles up quite high. Then you can just chuck this down, like so, and then for the whole duration of the potion, if anyone goes within the radius of the potion effects, they'll actually be affected by it, and they'll receive the effect. So it's just like when you're playing a game of PvP, whereas before you could just throw a potion of poison down and it might affect your enemy, now you could throw it down and say trap him in, and he'd be stuck with the potion all around him. Or for example, if you're with a team and you want to re-health or like boost the health of your team, you could throw it down and you could all stand in the regeneration area for as long as you all need, which is really useful in PvP, not so useful in survival. The way you'd actually get those, as you can see, you need to put a Dragon's Breath above a potion or splash potion in the brewing stand. Dragon's Breath is obtained by getting a glass bottle, going to the end, and when the dragon is attacking you and spewing out the purple goo that you're probably used to on console versions, which is now new to 1.9, you can actually scoop it up into these little bottles, and then that's how you get the Dragon's Breath. I will do a separate video on that if you guys like, because it's a little bit complicated. It may have sounded easy. I hope it sounded easy, but it may not have done. So if you do want that, then let me know. Now, once you have Linger Potion, you'll see that the potion effect is actually reduced in time to whatever you put in before. So make sure the effect that you're using already has quite a high amount of time, because you will lose quite a bit. As you can see, 45 to 11 seconds there. We've got 3 minutes to 2 minutes. It's quite a drop off. In addition, Brewing Stand has actually had a change. You now actually need to power it with Blaze Powder. There's also a new combat aspect of Minecraft, which really isn't surprising, seeing as it's the combat update. You can now actually add potion effects to arrows. So you get your Lingering Potion, as we've just seen, and then you're surrounded by arrows, and then any arrows you shoot will then use, if you use these arrows opposed to regular arrows, if you have the regular arrows on your hotbar, it usually goes to them rather than these, so make sure you only have these on, and then you can shoot people and they will receive the effect you've attached to the arrow. So leaping potions, you can see here, probably wouldn't be too useful, but a potion of instant harming or instant damage, now that would be useful. Definitely a good one for PvP. Poison would be another good one. You could, in theory, heal your teammates using regeneration arrows, but you're just going to hurt them when they get hit by the arrow anyway. So I would generally stick to negative effects for these. Moving on up, we've got another potion type. Or not potion type, sorry, the arrow type. The Spectral Arrow. Now as you can see, slightly different recipe. It uses glowstone. And what this will do is it will highlight your enemies. This is the new Shulker mob, which has a separate video of its own because it's quite a complex mob. And you'll actually have to shoot it while it's open. And then you'll see that when it's been hit, it actually glows. It's not incredibly easy to see, but if I just go up on the next level, you can actually see it through the wall, which makes spotting your opponent and keeping them within your view a lot easier than it was previously. You'll actually get 2 arrows for every 1 arrow you put in with the glowstone, which is quite nice. As we all know, we've now got shields in Minecraft 1.9. The recipe has changed somewhat since it was first added, but the customization remains the same. So once you actually craft up your shield, it's now a little bit cheaper. You can then get that and add a banner to it, a banner which can be dyed, and then you can get the shield. Now this is best used offhand, so put it in here, use it on your other hand, and block as you would with a sword. Sword blocking has now been removed in place of these new shields. You can use any banner type you want, so really mix it up however you want to, really make it customized. Now we've now got 2 enchantments. Now there weren't too many enchantments in 1.8, we only got 1, we only had Depth Strider. We've now actually got 2 new ones. We've got the Frostwalker and the Mending enchantment. Now the Frostwalker enchantment, when you use this, you can walk on water, and any water beneath you will freeze into ice, which literally just lets you walk on water, which is amazing. Mending, if you have a armor piece on, and it's damaged, and you receive XP, instead of actually receiving the experience on your hotbar, it will go towards mending your damaged items. It actually rejuvenates them, it adds more duration to them, which is a really nice touch, and you do still get a bit of XP on the side as well. Now one thing that is worth noting is you can only get these through enchanted books. You cannot get them on the enchantment table, you need to use the anvil. Now this means that you have to find them, of course, in dungeons, Nether Fortress chests and such like, So they're a little bit rarer than most enchantments, because literally every other one can just be got on the enchantment table. But, you know, they're very prestigious, so it's almost worth the extra little bit of work. Now here's one recipe that's been removed. Very rare that we see this, but the Notch Apple recipe has been removed from the game, which is very surprising, seeing as the Notch Apple achievement still remains on the game. So what's going on there? I'm not sure. You'd have thought they'd have removed it when they removed the Notch Apple, but they haven't. And the Notch Apple is still technically in the game, it's just not craftable. So in theory it could appear in chest loots, but I would expect that to be an exceptionally rare item. I know you can get golden apples, just a standard golden apple, very rarely in like stronghold chests, but I've never seen a Notch Apple. So whether they've been added or if they've ever been in it before, I'm not 100% sure. I only knew about golden apples when I found one very recently. So maybe they're in chests now, and if so, they're going to be very rare, because that is one great looking achievement. It's got the purple squiggles and whatever's going on there. So that's clearly a very prestigious achievement now. And so that's just got a lot harder, basically. On to some final achievements, and this is really endgame stuff here. We've got the End Crystal, which can be crafted like this and can be used to respawn the Ender Dragon. I will have a separate video on that and on how you do that. And this one is not too difficult. You need Eye of Ender, of course, Gas Tears, two quite difficult items to obtain, but not too difficult. And you will actually need to make a fair couple of these to be able to respawn the Ender Dragon, which does now have its own skull, and if it is powered by redstone, it will actually begin to move its mouth, which is quite nice. Now you don't actually get these from killing the Ender Dragon, nor do you get the Elytra from crafting. Both these items can be found in End Ships. Now you need to first find an End City while in the End Zone, this new End Zone, and while you're there, you may come across a End Ship. Now they don't always have End Ships off these dock things here, but they do occasionally. If you're lucky enough to find one, you can go in here. There's a brewing stand with instant health potions, and then you'll find the Elytra. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It's quite a weird name, I guess. Elytra. And when you attach these, now this is really something special, you can actually put them onto your chest piece place, and in survival you can jump and just fall and literally glide. As you can see, I'm just flying along as if I was in creative, yet in survival. Now if you fly into anything, it is going to deal damage, but if you just land on the ground, you deal no damage at all. As you saw, I dropped from right up there right down to here, took no damage. Yes, I've got resistance on, that was for safety, but as you saw, there wasn't even any indication of damage on my heart, so you're completely invulnerable to fall damage while using that, which is a very nice addition and many people's new favourite item, I'm sure of that. It's an amazing addition. Generally a pretty good update, I would say. Let me know what you think about the update. I hope you found this video helpful or in any way informative, and if you have, please just take 1 second, hit that like button below, and thanks for watching.